Hello, hello. Oh, my wallet and my fucking sunglasses are up here. Hello, 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 hello. Hey, what's up, Wheelbite? What are we doing today? What we got going on in this game? Maybe we should do a mission today. Organize operations at the sawmill. Ho! Fuck it. Let's do it. Got to get it done at some point, right? We need to bring the... Where's the closest base? Well, that's a long way away down here. Ugh, it's countryside base. It's not going to be that. Industrial base to the sawmill. It's doable. No. Let's open the garage. Put that back in. We don't want that. We want to retain that and use this bad boy. How's everybody? Morning, QXAME. What's up, Big D's? What's up, South Dakota? Still listening to this morning's episode. Oh, of Regulation? Is it? Why seasons? I don't know if I understand the question. You guys didn't kill Ozzy, right? According to Gavin, we killed Ozzy. We filmed a Trivial Pursuit. Not a Trivial. We filmed a video. Maybe the day before he died that he came up in. So in true Achievement Hunter Curse fashion, yeah, it would fit in with the "Did you kill X celebrity" meme. Yes, we definitely killed Ozzy yesterday, according to the laws of that rule. I am enraged. Okay. I don't even know what are we talking about in today's episode? Why is everybody upset? I love how you explained how Emily might actually like you instead of just putting up with you. It makes me happy. I don't remember that, but volunteering on my local NPR station. Hell yeah. What are you guys taking donations for? Oh, for NPR, yeah. My ears perked up when I hear that you guys talk about Orange County and Irvine. Oh, yeah, that's Eric stomping around. I hope not. I don't want anybody to die, but we'll see. I was listening to the So All Right this morning. I called my wife to make me a dermatology appointment for some sunspots on my back. Thank you for doing that. Maybe it's nothing, but let me tell you, it's a good feeling for a doctor to go, "Oh, you're fine. It's nothing. Nothing to worry about, you know?" And if it's not, then you're going to go, "Thank fucking Christ, I went and checked this out." Andrew and Seasons wearing merch of other companies and other companies' products. Is that today's episode? I don't know. We record the podcast. Well, in an ideal world, we record the podcast 1 week before it's released. But, you know, we're not living in an ideal world in 2024 or 2025 and with the holidays and summer break and stuff. So the recording schedule is a little janky. And so I think episode 63 might have come out this week. But I don't remember. We recorded that probably 3 weeks ago, so I just don't remember what we talked about. Thank you so much for talking about all the invisible struggles you deal with. No problem, man. Andrew was calling the colon symbol double dot. I do remember that. Jeff, Gavin, and all right, here's the synopsis. Jeff, Gavin, and Andrew talk about Jeff out of town, recording time, changing the time, Gerplers, potato colors, apple throwing, a nose accident waiting to happen, the double dot, Rascal Flats, Seasons. Yeah. the TIE Fighters, pinball, Gavin and Jeff on the phone. Jeff pissed his shirt. Oh, that's the piss my shirt episode. Okay. Nunya, neighborhood bar, accountability for the mayor of Goof World, outside robot, Dan Gets It, Clutch My Pearls, promoting with Adam Savage, Gavin's 2025 threat, and fart hard. My wife works in a medical office, and it's much easier for her to find doctors within our insurance network, so she tells me to let her make appointments. That's awesome, Mark. That's awesome. It was the seasons that was arranging. Was that Gavin? Why do we have seasons? Did he ask that? Or was that Andrew? I don't remember. It was about the rotation of the sun, that whole conversation. About how much sun is, or how much of the sun is exposed. Sorry if this has been asked numerous times in the past, but is there a way to view these live streams as a VOD? Yeah, it's on YouTube. Just search Fake Jeff. Just like search the exact same name as I have here, Fake Jeff, or maybe Fakey Jeffy. But yeah, it's every stream is archived on YouTube, at least for a little while now. Making my way. Slow and steady. This could all be spruced up, huh? Just crossed my mind that I'm driving the wrong vehicle to where I want to go. This vehicle will not do what I need it to do when we get there. You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna mulch these to make this drive worth it. We're gonna mulch. Pretend like this was the whole reason I drove this out here, was to get these few stumps here. Just on top of it. I love it. I like chatting with y'all on episode days. It's fun. All right. Hold on a second. Would you confirm the ska musician who destroyed your bathroom if it were guessed correctly? I'd just tell you who it was. It's not a secret. I've told it before. It was Ryan from Catch-22, saxophone player, and eventual lead singer, I believe. All right, let's go get the vehicle we were supposed to get. God damn. It's maybe one of those days, huh? I always miss it the first time around. I don't know why I never see these. There we go. Okay. Anyway, where were we? Listening to the podcast at work, and I had to step away from my cubicle because I was laughing at your pee story. Ugh, God. Just pissed all over myself, my shirt, my shorts, the floor. Oh, it was terrible. How you doing, man? I'm doing great, thank you. Thanks for listening to Regulation today. If I had but one wish before I die, it's that every single human on the planet Earth will listen to Regulation at least 3 times. That's all I want. That's all I need. All right, we're going this way. Right? That's where we're headed. Yeah. I just walked 300 feet to a door with a loaded cart and just realized I forgot my badge. That sucks. Same episode 3 times? No, I'd prefer it to be multiple episodes. I'd prefer it to be a 3-episode arc. Is Regulation the first cup company with a podcast? I don't think so. I think if you go back in time and look at it, I think Cow Chop might have been the first company, cup company, maybe not with a podcast, but with a cup company that made productions, because they had their, James had their spinny cup that we made a shitload of those for them when we did their merch. They sold those like crazy. Can I tell the story about how I pissed in the guy's duffel bag? Yeah, give me just a second. Alexis Squiggle Cup. Alex. Oh, it's Alex's cup. Yeah, sorry. Alex's Squiggle Cup. That's what it was. I'm on my 3rd or 4th listen through the whole series. Hell yeah. So you're doing your part. I appreciate it. You're picking up for the slack from the humans that aren't listening. Piss in the guy's duffel bag story. Okay. I've told this one a bunch, so I'll be brief with it. But when I was in what's called AIT in the Army, it's where you, after you graduate basic training, you go to learn to do your job, whatever your job's going to be. I was a journalist, right? So I went to journalism school, and I lived with a guy. You don't pick your roommate, obviously. And I had 2 roommates eventually, one that I liked and one that I hated. But initially it was just me and the guy that I disliked. And eventually he graduated somehow from journalism school to go off to be a journalist or I think he might have been a broadcast journalist. I can't remember. But there are different disciplines in the Army, at least at that time. And he was shipping out at like 6 in the morning or 5 in the morning. They were picking him up pretty early, and so he had to have all of his stuff ready to go because he was being shipped off to his duty station. And so he lined up his duffel bags. He had 2 duffel bags, and I think that's pretty much it when you're in AIT. You don't really own a lot. Oh, yeah, and he had shoes. And so while he was asleep, and this was funnier when I was younger. The older I get, the less entertained I am by my shenanigans of youth. But he was such a prick to me. I mean, he was a genuine prick. And I know that I can be difficult. And I know that when I was younger, I was even more difficult. But he was also difficult and a prick. And I wouldn't even say we were like frenemies. He was just kind of an asshole. And so while he was asleep the night before he left, I pissed just a little bit into his shoes and a little bit more into his duffel bag. And then I locked it, closed it up. Figured that would be a welcome to your new duty station surprise. And if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't. And I would caution anybody else to not do that. Childish. Immature. Not the move to make. I went the wrong way. God damn it. I'll have to go. I don't want to go through that. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to turn around and go back the way I came because I don't want to do that. You go through these things where when you do something as a kid, you think it's the funniest thing on earth and you tell everybody. And then when you're a little bit older, you're like, I can't believe I did that. And then you tell everybody. And then at some point you cross a threshold where you go, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I did that. And then you don't want to tell people. I went the wrong way in the game, not in life. I'm doing okay in life. Every time I tell that story, I almost tell the guy's name, too. I always catch myself going, oh, yeah, his name was... Never mind. Unfortunately, I've told the piss shoe story so many fucking times. Millions of people have heard it by now. His name did start with a D, but it wasn't Dickhead McGee. I wasn't even trying to be edgy, or I was just like that. Before social media, before the internet, we just did stuff because it was funny, you know? Didn't really think much further than, will this make me laugh in the moment, for the first half of my life. I have a story like that where I used to tell a lot of people I threw a rock at my mother because she made us walk home from a supermarket and it landed in her pocket, and how I don't talk about it as much because I'm ashamed that I threw a rock at my mom. Yeah, I hear you. See, most of you guys, I shouldn't say all of you, I don't know the ages of all of you, but most of you guys, if you're younger than me, and I'm 50, I would imagine most of you are younger than me, maybe not everybody, have lived in a world that's mostly connected via social media and cell phone, which is genuinely a different world. Like, the world operates differently than it did when I was 18, 19, 16, 22. And things just worked differently back then, you know? Like, I get my iPhone report every week on Sunday, and it's like, oh, you spent 5 hours on your phone this week or whatever. 8 hours on your phone this week. This was your phone time, your screen time. You spent 4 hours on TikTok or whatever. And you go like, ugh, can't believe I did that. I can't believe we're stuck. When was the last time I genuinely got stuck in this game? Let's see if we can inch forward through this. I think we might have a secondary mission today. And so, and the reason I bring this up is because idle time was handled differently for the first half of my life. Like, when you would be bored, you know, through the course of your day now, think about how many times you pull your phone out of your pocket, browse Reddit or TikTok or Instagram or one of the other social media platforms, or just check your email, or I don't know, remind yourself to like put a video or a TV show in your to watch list, or like whatever you're doing on your phone. The hundreds of times a day that you check your phone, you're connected to your phone. You have a thought like, who won the 1984 World Series? I can find out in 1 second because I have a phone. All that time you spend connected to that phone is time that we used to just have to fill with whatever, with the world around us, right? And so I think we don't have a lot of opportunity to become bored now because we have so many ways to entertain ourselves. And back in the old days, it was much easier to be bored because there was just much less going on, and you couldn't distract yourself with a phone in your pocket. You know, the fucking phone in my pocket right now, or sitting right there, provides more entertainment value than the accumulation of everything I had access to for the first 30 years I was alive, probably, you know? And so it's very easy to distract yourself with it or to chew up time with it. But, you know, in 1992, you just had to play pranks on each other to pass the time. You could read a book, or you could fuck with your friends, you know? And so I feel like I did a lot more of that kind of stuff when I was younger, and I couldn't distract myself. They are a goddamn miracle. Used to read 30 books in a week. Yeah. I read about 3 books a year. I used to read 50. I used to do 52 books a year. Try to do that every year. Now I probably read 3. Infinity in your palm. That's a great way to put it. It's a great way to put it. It's Bove. Watched your stream yesterday morning before I got into an interview. Killed the interview and landed the job. Director of DTC marketing for the Extreme Sports brand. Hell yeah. Congratulations. That's awesome, Jack. Awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. I know you'll kill the job, too, just like you did the interview. Sound like my dad now. I'm not complaining about it or anything, and it's not. I'm not trying to be like boomerish. I love my phone, and I've embraced the future, which is the present now. But I just think it's funny the way the world worked differently, and we used to have to. I feel like I was up to more shenanigans when I was younger because I just had more time to fill that I couldn't, read about baseball cards on Reddit with. So I think I'm less likely. I think people are less likely to piss in somebody's duffel bag in general now than they maybe would have been 20 years ago. I can't believe we're going to make this work. Do I think older people your age now were up to shenanigans back in the 90s? Yeah, of course. I think everybody was. When's the last time you peed outdoors? I pee outdoors all the time. My grandfather, on my stepdad's side, right? The only person who was ever a father to me, my dad, stepdad. His father, Branch, was his name. He was about as old school and southern as it came. Fortunately and unfortunately for a lot of different reasons. But that dude existed to piss outside. Every piss he took was outside. If he woke up at 4 in the morning and had to take a piss, he would go outside to do it. And so pissing outside was normalized in my world pretty early and accepted and encouraged. So I've definitely peed outside my fair amount. Prankster, yeah. Now the pranks are different now, right? They become TikTok trends, and people are pranking strangers in the fucking street and getting clocked for doing it, which they should. I don't like that. I don't like that internet pranking strangers for content culture at all. I like pranking my friends, or people I don't like. Dude, this game is. They do the headlight fluid for you in this game. It's cool. It's auto refilled. Growing up in a rural area too, yeah. You do have to find ways to make your own fun back in the middle of nowhere. Wish I could just use all these logs that are sitting right here. But of course I know the game won't let me do that. Outdoor showers are great. Emily and I stayed for our anniversary last year. We stayed at this place called Hotel St. Cecilia. It's actually the place where I took the guys for this week's Good Morning Gustavo, and the hotel room we had an outdoor shower, and I just wanted to live in the outdoor shower. It was winter, so it was like kind of cold, showering outside, hot shower outside in the cold weather. It was fucking cool. You know what? I really do need to bring that stump grinder over here. Are all the episodes of Good Morning Gus already recorded? Yeah, we recorded the whole season before we released any of it. We tend to do that with that show because it's not really time sensitive. And we have limited time to work on it, But yeah, I would say all the episodes were recorded in probably January, February, and March, maybe a little bit of March or April, but they were recorded so long ago, I have zero memory of them or what we talk about, honestly, but I'm sure it's all right. All right, Stump Grinder's about to make an appearance. See, I knew we brought it over for a reason. Oh, boy. Please don't do that. Might not just bring the stump grinder. Might bring some other equipment over here as well. Oh, thank you. I don't even... What did we talk about in Good Morning Gus? I genuinely don't remember. I remember going to the place and showing them the St. Cecilia. But I don't remember what we talked about. Do we have an ETA on Fuck Face Off Season 2? No, I don't. I can tell you that all the teams have been created, which was a pretty significant amount of work on Andrew's part. He had to physically make all those teams and the logos and the stadiums and the colors and all that shit. And that takes time. He has done all that. He even built a couple of teams with the community, with the Falcons. Maybe you were there. Maybe you were a part of it. All that work is done. In addition to that, I have filmed a video with him where he shows me my team and we make changes and edits as needed. We've done that. So I think once all of those videos are recorded for everybody, then we'll be ready to rock. And I don't know the status of the other 3. I just know that mine's done. That's a good question, M. Miles. I don't know that it would change. I still play a lot of Call of Duty. If it weren't for this game coming out, kind of catching me off guard, I'd probably still be playing Call of Duty. Like, I made it a point in this year's Call of Duty to get dark matter skins for all the guns, so I maxed out all the guns, and that took me a very long time to do. And so I feel like I have to play Call of Duty to justify the amount of time I've already put into it. But maybe, you know, you definitely like to take your frustrations out in a video game. Although I'm not possessed of... I'm not that kind of guy. I can bitch about something for 30 seconds and then be past it. I don't hold on to stuff like that very often. Unless it's for, you know, performative for content. Feel your feelings. Surprised no one in regulation got hit by the Monster Hunter bug. I don't know that no one did. I just don't think it was good for content. I wouldn't be surprised if Andrew played it. He plays a lot of games that I don't know about. We were playing, we did a video in FBC Firebreak yesterday, Andrew, Gavin, and I. I think it's the 3rd or the 4th one of those we've done. And the last time we played, everybody was level 12, I think. And we loaded up and Andrew was level 49. So he somehow found the time to max level in that game in the week between when we recorded videos, where the rest of us didn't touch it, you know. I think you just don't like it. I am happy to say that it did not grab me. Yeah, I've never been a Monster Hunter fan. I like the idea of it. I found that when we played it, I found that the multiplayer group up functionality was confusing and annoying. But it was fine. If anybody is secretly a Monster Hunter fan, it would be Andrew or Eric, probably. I'm always a little surprised by whatever Eric likes. He's got strong opinions about stuff. He likes a lot of like JRPGs and stuff that I wouldn't have expected. Campaign multiplayer has issues, yeah. Thoughts on casinos? Just in general? I'm not a gambler. I like sports betting. Although, like with most things, the other people who like it ruin it for me. I don't like other people who bet sports, but I don't like that culture. But I like sports betting, and yeah, we were just in Vegas. We took a regulation Vegas trip like 3 weeks ago. We were all there for the weekend, so I could throw out that first pitch at the baseball game. So I was at casinos very recently. I like them for the spectacle and the people watching and the food and stuff, but I'm not a big gambler. But I'm still attracted to the place, even though gambling's not something I'm going to do. Is this thing... Moron. I'm driving slow for no fucking reason. All right. Let's make our lives easier over here. I wish I could... I guess it's the one downside of this tool is it doesn't let you raise and lower it. I don't feel like I really need to mulch you, but I'll do it. It lets me get to the other one. How is it still? Okay. Approach you from this angle. I cannot get this tree stump to save my life. Now it's just I don't even probably need to. It's just personal. There we go. Eat my fucking dick. Thank you. Okay. Was a big boy. I should do these over here too. Have you ever played the Yakuza series? I did. Yeah, I played Yakuza 0, I want to say. Was that the one? A couple years ago. It was okay. Wasn't blown away. That's probably good. That was probably good for a few minutes, right? That should allow us some time some space to grab some trees. Expecting a big year from those Texas Longhorns down there. Man, let me tell you something right now, Baked Potato. I have lived in Austin for 31 years now. It is in every way my home. The best home I've ever had. But I could not give two shits about the University of Texas football team. It does nothing for me. I am an Alabama football fan. It's one of the only things that I enjoy about where I'm from. So I don't keep up with UT. I find the UT fans to be largely insufferable. But I'm sure they feel the same way about Alabama fans, so what are you going to do? Oh, you're addicted to it? That's great. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Spaghetti. It's a great fucking game. I'm not rooting for their demise. I just am not rooting for or against them. I don't want them to fail or anything. You know, they're great for my local economy here. I just they don't do it for me. You know what we're going to do? The fastest course of action is just to continue doing what we're doing. Right? It is. But we would have a smoother time of it if we drove a dump truck over here and a bulldozer and did some work. Let me see. Are we in a... Here's where we're going to figure this out. If we're in a sand pit or very close to a sand pit, I'm going to do it. If not, we're very close to a sand pit. All right, let's find the dump trucks. Are there sand pits along the way? There are. Okay. Fuck it. We're going to do it. This game is about not being in a hurry. I need to turn these fucking hints off at some point if I can. Are road upgrades in this game permanent? Yes. That's what makes this game amazing, Tantrums. They are permanent. It's what this game has over SnowRunner. Yeah, if you can punch a dragon in the eye repeatedly, it seems like a cool way to go. The Kurt Schilling game. I played a little bit of that game. Was that Amateur? I remember thinking it was alright. Sucks about Kurt Schilling being a fucking lunatic, but couldn't get into SnowRunner. It just felt like a chore. I mean, that's part of the joy of SnowRunner, I think, is there's like a zen quality to it. But, like, just that game is all getting from point A to point B and it being very fucking difficult. This game is about making point A and point B more navigatable for AI, essentially. I think would be the way to describe it. Have I played the new Donkey Kong at all? I have not personally. I cannot land a Switch 2 yet. To be fair, I haven't looked at all in the last like 5 or 6 days, but I tried for a couple weeks there and I couldn't get one. We did a stream in Donkey Kong last Friday, I want to say, and it should be up on the YouTube channel. The VOD, I think, came out yesterday. So, yeah, we watched Andrew play for like 3 hours, I want to say. All right. If I'm going to be doing this, I might as well. This was kind of annoying. Please be refillable. No? Oh, so close. So close. Oh, wait. I still need to... What? Activate. Yeah. And... I guess this guy will just move a little bit forward. Let's go ahead and bring up part 2. Yeah. 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 You got to punch up to dill down. That's right. The switch to is weird. If you don't use the inbox HDMI, controllers will disconnect. Oh, interesting. Best Buy has Switch 2 in stock. All right, I'll buy one later today then. Yeah, watching Andrew just punch straight into the air for fucking 3 hours while Eric begged him to stop was pretty funny. What was that about, buddy? Oh. That's an interesting question. Mulholland Drive or Firewalk with Me? So... I'm going to call apples and oranges on that question. Ultimately, you got to go with Firewalk with Me, but you got to go with Firewalk with Me because of the entirety of Twin Peaks, which is it is a part of a larger whole. Mulholland Drive is a self-contained story that is pretty amazing in its own right. As a film on its own, Mulholland Drive is more succinct. And but then again, you know, Mulholland Drive was designed to be a television show. It was designed to be his next Twin Peaks. And then that was canned because of... It was a shooting, I think, a school shooting. And they decided that they wanted to... that it was too violent. And so then he had to recut the pilot into a film, which he did brilliantly. What should my first David Lynch film be? Eraserhead? Oh, God. Unless you are very into experimental, avant-garde film, art film, I would steer clear of Eraserhead for a while. If you're into that kind of thing, if you like art for art's sake, not even, that doesn't sound right, but if you like art and you're okay with ambiguity and I don't know how to describe Eraserhead. I don't think it's a very accessible film. I think it's brilliant. I love it. I'm actually going to be watching it again here for something in the next few weeks. It's funny that you mentioned it even because it is going to get covered in some way, but I guess I'd probably start with, I don't know, Lost Highway is a pretty good place to start. Blue Velvet's great. If maybe, depending on how old you are, you might find it dated. I don't know. Keep it going. Well, you also need to understand, too, in defense of Andrew, who's a very good video game player, 90% of what Andrew was doing there was to be entertaining, you know? That's what most of it is, right? Just being silly, not taking it seriously. There are plenty of people on the internet that play video games in a serious manner and try to be good at them, and that just never appealed to us. Video games are about creative exploration and being silly, and you know what I mean? So, fuck. Don't do this to me. Thank you. That sucks. That sucks. Things got squirrely. Things got bad squirrely. Ugh. Not happy with that, huh? Might as well just go back and get more right now before I even flatten that out. If we're on camera, is a good rule of thumb, we're not being serious. I hear you, Mark. I had that's like Millie's old babysitter. We were talking about something, and I realized she'd never seen Goodfellas. I referenced something in Goodfellas, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I never saw that." So we sat down and I had her watch the first the opening sequence of Goodfellas, like the first 15 minutes. As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster. That whole sequence, and it was just like maybe 10, 12 minutes of film, and she goes, "I understand like 400 references now, just because of the first 10 minutes of this movie." It's funny how that works. Oh, you dick. You dick. You dickhead. You glitchy dickhead. We're just going to have a mess here. What is going on? You guys see... Ugh. My favorite iteration of the Gerpler is the one that's about to come out. I know that's lame to say, but it really is. The Cosmic Gerp will be my favorite. Before that, though, I would say probably the Gerple one, the green to purple one. Like the ombre one. Those damn underwater trampolines, I know. Couldn't get into Rise. Was that the launch, Xbox One launch game? I can't remember. It's actually looking like a decent road, all things considered. Can you imagine if I took the extra step to pave all these? We would never get anywhere. Getting that Gerpler was a bloodbath. Retool year for the seas. Yeah. I wouldn't say free path, to be honest. They got their own issues to deal with. They got some retooling to do themselves, and I'd be more worried about Orlando. I'd be worried about Cleveland, who I think is a much better team than they performed in the second round of the playoffs last year and will be so again. I wouldn't be worried about Indiana so much this year. I'd be worried about the Knicks, unfortunately, who I do not like. The Hawks are going to be good. Mark it now, especially if Porzingis stays any kind of healthy for them, which he couldn't do for us, but Hawks are going to be something to deal with this year. The rest of the East is trash, but what do you think those are some causes for concern? Okay. Let's finish this bitch up. You're so happy Dame's back with the Blazers. Well, Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, temper that joy. He's not going to be playing this year. And when he does come back, he'll be a guy in his mid to late-ish 30s with a ACL repair and a game predicated on his physical ability, It'd be interesting to see how his game changes, because one would assume there'll be a lack of physical ability that was present before. Hell of a shooter, so I don't know. We'll see. I can't imagine his defense will be improved, and it wasn't great to begin with. But yeah, it's a cool story. Hopefully he'll stay there and end his career there, and that'll be a nice little button on his career for Portland, and he'll retire as a legend there, rightly so. But there's a lot of people that think he's just there for a year to retool, and then, I forgot to do this bit. And then he'll be on his way to the next competing team. I don't know. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if the guy still tries to make his way to Miami at some point. He seems to really want to play there. I went on my family trip to Chicago, and we did the architectural boat tour. It was a huge hit with the whole family. Thanks for the recommendation. Absolutely. I love that tour. That's a great tour, and it shows you Chicago in a way that you won't see otherwise. It is a fascinating city from the water. You really get to see the scale and size and impressiveness of it. Impressiveness. I wish that I liked sports, but I just find them boring. They're not for everybody. I'm into them in the same way I'm into the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It's just I like the drama, like the interpersonal issues and drama and all that flavor. Okay. That's pretty solid pour, if I do say so myself. Have I ever talked about how Emily and I met? We met, I have a bunch, yeah. I think we did an Always Open where we talked about it with Barb. But yeah, we just, online dating app. We met on Tinder, I think it's called. I think that was the one we used. It's crazy to see the guy I watched when I was 15 streaming on Twitch now. Goes by fast, it does. Grew up in Wisconsin, where the Badgers were the team, the cheer. So my sports experience was just enjoying the food and watching my team lose. I mean, that's most of what sports fandom is eating and misery, you know? If you think about it, sports is set up to disappoint almost everybody who watches it. Use the NBA for an example. There are 30 teams in the NBA and one winner every year. So 29 teams a year fail in their ultimate goal. And that means the fandom for 29 of the 30 teams every year experiences some level of defeat and failure and misery and disappointment. Now, you are able to temper those expectations. You're able to justify things. You can talk about how clearly the team wasn't going to win this year, so any iterative progress is a win, and all of those things that we tell ourselves to make it more palatable and stomach it. But at the end of the day, almost everybody who watches sports watches their team fail when it's all said and done. Emily's sister is married to a guy RT used to work with, but that had nothing to do with it. I didn't know that until after we started dating. It was just crazy happenstance. Yeah, don't win, call to rebuild. Exactly. So if you go into it knowing that the probability is that the end result will be failure to complete the mission, you just find other ways to enjoy it. You get into the personalities of the people. You get into the drama surrounding them on and off the court. You get into, it's just... such a great way to look at life. How far back do I gotta go? Pretty far back. Okay. My dad loved to say we had season tickets to the Badgers when they were bad and it was cheaper. Dude, going into a game with zero expectations of winning is the best. Like, if your team sucks and you know they suck and you don't think they're going to win, but you just want to eat food and party and have fun and hang out with your friends and joke, that's awesome. That's almost better. Like, I saw a Browns football game. Did a little tailgating, and it was part of a work thing years ago. And it was one of those years when the Browns were like 2-15, 3-14 or something. And there was no expectation they were going to win that game. And none of those Browns fans gave a shit. They were just having a party and hanging out and enjoying doing it. And that was a fun experience, even though they were just abysmal at the time. But, the fans were clear-eyed about it and found a way to enjoy it and support their team anyway, and I thought that was cool. I was impressed with Cleveland that day. Okay. Had a tradition of getting a malt cup with the wooden spoon every third period at Badger hockey. Great memories and tradition I still carry with me. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I love going to baseball games in general. Like, going to a baseball game is just an event, Baseball's part of it, but it's not... I don't know. Sometimes it's not even the biggest part of it. All right, that's probably enough of that. Let's go ahead and get to where we're going. A great place to chill with a game going on in the background. Yeah, it's a great way to describe a live baseball game. Keeping tabs on F1? Yeah, a little bit. Not as less so than ever since I started. It's just been hard to keep up with all the other sports stuff I have going on. But I have watched a couple, like 2 races, and I'm keeping reasonably abreast of what's going on. But I'm definitely the least knowledgeable I've been since I became a fan in the pandemic when everybody else became a fan. Okay, so clearly we're going to need to fuck with this too. Okay. Midweek baseball games at my college had $2 hot dogs. Hell yeah. Oh, I started late today. I started at 9 Central, so that'd be 7 on the West Coast, I guess. Usually I start much earlier, but I was hanging out with my wife this morning a little bit before she had to go to work. Spending time with my broad. I'm sure this is vastly outside of your Christ circles. Have you heard about V Shoujo? A talent management for VTubers has pocketed $500,000 in donations attended for charity. No, I hadn't heard anything about that. I know next to nothing about VTubing. I know Lindsay does it, but that's about it. All I know. Thoughts on Christian Horner getting fired? I read a little bit about it. It seems like it was a result of, well, a lot of things kind of compiling all at once, right? The years of allegations didn't help. And then I guess there's two ownership groups, and the one was defending him and demanding he stay, and the other wanted him gone. And then I think Max kind of just hit a point where it was like it was him or me maybe, and I don't know. Like I said, I perused an article about it, but that's how it goes, you know? I don't know. Had a lot of success there, Christian, but sometimes you just need new blood in an organization, I guess. I'm sure he will. I think I can just hoof it up here, and I'm sure he'll land somewhere else if he wants to, you know? I imagine that dudes like Christian Horner and Toto Wolff got to be so fucking wealthy at this point. We love to watch Jeff cry. Oh no. I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry. I'm not going to watch Bluey, and I shouldn't watch it because I'm 50 years old and I don't have a young child. If I still did, I would, I'm sure, but that was not my generation of kids shows. So I am drinking a orange Alani energy drink. I have the truck that makes the portable quarry. Yeah, it's running right now. That's what I just got the sand from. Like, if you see, that's this guy right here. Portable quarry truck. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Don't you fuck me. You know what? That might be close enough, but probably not. Probably need to do two. Did Nunya have good non-alcoholic cocktails? I don't know. I didn't look for any. I don't remember specifically. I just had a Diet Coke, but they probably did. That place is awesome, by the way. Nunya, if you're in Austin. It's a bar that's kind of pseudo-regulation themed. Comet Lever owns it and has some nods to regulation in the bar. It's very cool. It's called Nunya on East 12th Street, I think. The middle map's quick. Yeah, it's interesting that they have pretty dramatically different map sizes from map to map in this one. Might as well do it, just because if I don't, I'm going to be driving it later and mad at myself that I couldn't take the extra step to do, the extra effort to throw dirt down on 5 more feet. Yeah. Definitely going to know myself with that later. A regulation pregnancy. Good lord. Does commentary here forfeit regulations? Yeah, it does. You're a comment leaver if you talk. I'm gonna have to come and clear these stumps out too. Nah, this is good right here. If I can get, if this gives me sand. Come on, dickhead, give me sand. There we go. The whole point of this was to cut down 25 trees, and I think I've cut down 2 so far. And we are an hour and 6 minutes into the stream. That's about right for this game. Nunya is kind of fuckface named because I can imagine someone asking, where's a good place to hang, and the response is Nunya. Yeah, that's what he said. He was like, he fuckfaced himself with the name of his own bar. Which I think is great. $1 million, but your eyeballs are in your nostrils, and your nostrils are in your eye sockets. No. No, I'm okay. I don't think I'd do that. Where'd the rest of my fucking dirt go? Oh, wow. I didn't see it come out. That was weird. Interesting. Okay. Hoofing it to the other vehicle. That's a funny thought. All right. Didn't really need to do any of that, but now that we did, let's do the other stuff we don't really need to do. You guys are getting pretty deep and bluey. Man, I am having a toothache, and I am bummed about it. That's the last thing I want to do is deal with my fucking mouth again. I got to go to the dentist tomorrow, and I get just extreme sensitivity to cold all of a sudden on one tooth that has a crown on it. So I imagine I have some crown work ahead of me this week, which, man, I just wanted to... You know, getting older fucking sucks sometimes. I just want to be left alone, you know? I just dealt with this fucking cancer thing with my mole and getting that removed and the stress and fear of all that. And, like, I get, like, this is a dumb thing to bitch about, but I get, like, literally 6 days where I'm like, thank God, you know, I feel okay. And then my mouth starts hurting, you know? It's like, leave me the fuck be for a minute. Wah. Poor Jeff. Alright, let's start filling this shit in. Your dentist committed insurance fraud. Hey, what's up, ABXYGG? Glad to have you. Wish the human body was modular. Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be very cool. I agree with that. Yeah, it's kind of where I'm at. It's like, but that's just what getting older is, you know. Like I was talking to my mom the other day, and she was like, "This is the first week I haven't had a doctor's appointment in I don't know how long I can remember." And it's like, that's the future for all of us, I guess, you know. It's just gonna be a fucking, I don't know, a crown that needs to be reset or replaced, or a fucking, who knows, just a fucking something annoying and painful, and then it'll be over, and I'll be like, man, that sucked, and then I'll go about my fucking life like nothing ever happened. It'll just be an annoying 2 or 3 days of my life. Just getting sick of that cycle, you know. Ultimately, it'll be just fine. Things could be a million times worse, I know. Makes me feel bad for complaining. But I've basically been like living in some state of medical fear since March. And that's when I discovered, when I got serious about the mole and got scared of it. And so it's like I finally just get the relief of getting that cut out and taken care of. And it's just like immediately the next problem. It's like there's no fucking brakes anymore. Be ready for that when you get older. Maintaining your body becomes a fucking full-time job at some point. This is a good little run we got here. Not mad at this. Super easy. Trojan horse that says Magnum on the outside, but when they open it, there's just an average number of soldiers inside. I think I'm halfway to old. Trucks is going good. Flesh is weak. Oh, fuck off. All right, now this is, let me drive over here and see. This is the area that I really need to work on. Once I get the lead up to it for the dump truck good. Got a little bit more work. Yeah. 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 Okay. One more pass here. Maybe we'll have a path that I actually will use to start dealing with the matter at hand. A little wonky. Fuck you, tree. Go straight back on you. There we go. Where is better to watch content, YouTube or Patreon? I mean, I guess ultimately I'd prefer you watch it on Patreon. But it doesn't really matter. I guess whatever provides the best viewing experience for you ultimately, you know, whatever keeps you coming back week after week. I mean, at the end of the day, we're on multiple platforms so that we can appease as much audience as possible through their platform of choice, you know? So at the end of the day, it's really just about what is the most enjoyable way for you to consume it. Do you ever get into the coin that programmable credit card that Bernie? No. And I imagine none of them are involved in it anymore either, right? There you go, Malignant. That's seems like a way to do it. I mean, it would be awesome if you subscribed on YouTube and on Patreon and on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatever to juice not to juice, but just to, you know, represent in that way. But obviously, I just want you to watch it or listen to it wherever you most conveniently do so. Okay. Let's can I? Yeah, I'm close enough. I love doing it that way. All right, let's see how this bad boy works now. First thing I see is a stump I didn't grab. You fucker. Immediately running into stumps. I missed. Okay. Well, I got some more stump work to do, but in the meantime. You can add the Patreon feed to Spotify or Apple. Yeah, or any podcast app you have. I know there's a million, and everybody has a preference. I use Apple Podcasts, but not for any other reason than it's just what I have always used. I switched over to Spotify for a little bit because I use Spotify for music, but some stuff's not on Spotify, so there were certain podcasts I couldn't keep up with, I feel like. Although I don't really keep up with a lot of podcasts right now. I like being able to feed it right into the thing like this. All right. I still want to... I'm going to fix that little spot. Stayed home from work today to sign for a package that's coming, and I get to see Jeff. What's the package? Is it a good package? Something you really want? Hopefully it's cool. Hopefully it comes today. Have you heard of this one podcast? It's called Reggae. All right. I very much thought Jeff was planting trees and got happy. No, this is the opposite of planting trees. Yeah, I've been brought as a part of a disaster recovery team, as I understand it, to somewhere in Eastern Europe to help them rebuild after some catastrophic weather. I think some pretty bad flooding. And so we're trying to help them rebuild their infrastructure. And that requires a lot of wood. New macro camera lens before my trip coming up. Hell yeah. What kind of camera do you have? I need to fucking stump grind. The trequalizer is very funny. That's a very funny thing to say, Zen Ronify. That's joke of the day right there. Trequalizer. I'm mad I didn't think of that. You should have a career in Hollywood. You should be in a writing room somewhere. I need to send back my GoPro. Uh-oh. Oh, thanks for the sub, Luden. Or London. I don't know. That might be the first sub of the day. Thank you so much. I just realized I haven't. If there have been, I apologize for not saying thank you. I didn't see them. Pick up logs from the piles. I know. But that'd be a little too easy. If you could, honestly, there would just be less piles, you know? And I guess I appreciate that it's good set dressing. Let me do this too. But I definitely... Oh, thanks, Drunk Mouse. And Zwift. I definitely think it would be easier. And I certainly spent, 4 or 5 minutes trying to figure out how to do it when I first started playing the game. Oh, it's a resub. Thank you. Thanks for the resub. Thank you, Arnie. Thank you to everybody who subs. Or donates or bits or whatever this fucking infrastructure is called. Hell yes, C-Bud. Drunken Mouse hooked you up. I don't know why they refused to call you Drunken Mouse over at Regulation. You're Dr. Mouse to them, unfortunately. Can you make roads bigger than one lane? You can make roads as wide as you want to. Bigger than one lane, it gets a little harder to... It can get a little harder to make them even if they're too wide. But yeah, you can do it. There's no limit. There's actually, like... This is only part of the mechanic, too. There is a second part to these roads where you asphalt and roll them and turn them into paved roads. I just don't bother with these ones that are deep in the woods where, I'm I'm probably not going to drive more than... This may be the only reason I drive this road in this game, to come up to do these trees. So... The whole map will be one big road. That'd be nice. So what the game wants me to do is collect trees anywhere. Cut down trees with this tool I have. No specific place. And then load them with a log loader into the back of a log truck. And then deliver them here all at once, and then turn in, 25 logs from the back of a log roller. I just hate picking up logs and putting them in a log truck. It's just one of the more annoying things in the game to do. And I find it to be much easier just to short circuit that by just cutting the tree down and then processing it directly on the spot where it needs to go. Other than just fucking trying to finagle a log into a back of a truck for 5 minutes. How are you there? I feel like All right, dickhead. You're next. Coming for you real fucking soon. Right now. Not putting up with this. There you are. Where was that? Oh, I'm not even in the right spot. No, there I am. I don't know how I missed you earlier. But you are most definitely in the way. Okay. See another one. Okay. Is there a limit on how high you can dump sand? I don't know. We could try it. Maybe maybe in a stream in the future. Maybe after I 100% this map and I've got nothing left to do in it. Maybe we'll try to build a mountain over a house or something. It'd be fun. Oh, this is so much easier to maneuver now. I know it was a lot of work to get to it, and I probably would have been, by the time I've gotten everything in place, I probably could have just struggled and suffered through, and I'd be done by now, but it's not really what this game's about. Okay. That is too easy, the way that works. Hey, what's up, cool dude? Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. Good morning, Versified. You filled a reservoir? Drunken Mouse? Ever think about how there was a factory that made the parts that make the machine to make I think about that stuff all the time. Branch trimmer might be one of the most satisfying things. It's pretty neat. Pretty neat. Ooh, thanks for the sub. Jorky Bilfus. Gavin's enemy. Am I going to do Beanhole 3? Yeah, at some point. I don't have a place to do it, though. Can't do it at my current house. Can't do it at the office. So, if one of the other regulation guys wanted to lend up their yard, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say they don't, and they won't. So, someday, in the undefined future, it'll happen. Oh, that's so satisfying. It really is. What are you going to do, Jorky? What my thoughts on Ozzy's passing were? I thought it was sad. I have not seen the new Superman movie. I imagine I'll get to it eventually, but it just doesn't appeal to me. And listen, everybody has told me, from Eric to my daughter, that it's phenomenal, and I'm sure it is. I'm in no hurry to see it. Not really into superhero movies much these days. Kind of got burned out on it. And out of all the superheroes, Superman is not the one I'm the most interested in. Oh, I'm super into woke heroes. Don't get me wrong there. I just don't need to see another Superman story. I wish it was full of those clocks so we could sell them. Have we put anything in the bit barrel yet? Not yet, but it's in the office. Gavin and I moved it in yesterday. It's ready to go. Actually, I had to buy a part for it. We're gonna drill a hole in the top of it, so I got to do that still. Ooh, thanks, Mark. Oh, I'm sorry, Malik. He's too singularly powerful. Yeah, it's hard to create stakes for him. There's a comic book series that came out many years ago called Astro City. It was written by a guy named Kurt Busiek, who I believe has passed, but he was pretty ill, I think. But it was kind of like a new take on a lot of old classic superhero stories and superheroes. And in there's a version of Superman named Samaritan, I believe. And it's almost like an anthology series. It's pretty cool. And so they'll focus on a different character per arc. So, you may get 3 episodes about Samaritan, and then you may get 3 comics about somebody else, or 2 or 1 or whatever. It's just kind of about the universe of Astro City, not just any individual creator. I don't even know if it's still around, if they kept making it after he died or whatever. But in there was one story they told about Samaritan, the superhero, their Superman version, about essentially being all-powerful and being able to be all places at once and needing to be all places at once, and how no matter how powerful and talented and smart, I guess not talented, but how powerful and smart and well-meaning you are, you just can't save everybody all the time. And just like the emotional toll and the exhaustion mentally, and it just puts on somebody like that who can help people 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, when there are always people that need to be helped, and there will always be people that need to be helped. And it just like the exhaustion of that running you down, I thought it was such a phenomenal, it was the best Superman story I ever read. And it wasn't about Superman. It was about a guy named Samaritan who was a Superman-esque character. The weight of the responsibility of it all. And just like the weight, but also just like it's never going to end, It's just like, this is what it's going to be like for you forever. And anytime you take a break or relax or let your guard down or take a moment to yourself, somebody's going to die because of it. And just like trying to find the fucking balance of helping as many people as you can without driving yourself crazy, I gotta be honest with you. I don't think the word woke is a bad word. I think it's dumb that it got turned into some sort of a hot button wedge issue, when woke literally just means being awake and aware of the world and the people around you and the differences between you and how to interact and get along and be respectful to each other. And it is one of the dumbest political footballs I have seen used in my lifetime. But definitely, if there is a woke agenda and that agenda is equality for all, count me super fucking woke. Happy to wear that mantle. Here's a joke for you. I once asked a girl for a date, and she said I had a face like the back of a boat. I didn't reply, but I gave her a stern look. Ooh. Oh, dads. Good morning, everyone. Remember when you used to shout, wake up, sheeple? Oh, my God. The opposite of woke, and listen, I'm not trying to get political, but to me, the opposite of woke is just sticking your head in the fucking sand like an ostrich, plugging your ears and going, la, 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 I can't hear you, no, 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 and refusing to acknowledge that, you know, the world and our history may be a little more complicated than you're ready to accept. The opposite of woke is ignorant. And unfortunately, our country, and see, you getting me political, I don't want to, but unfortunately, our fucking country right now trades in ignorance. Ignorance is a badge of courage and honor in America right now, unfortunately, for some fucking dumb reason. And I'm off. I'm done. That's it. I'm not going to complain anymore. I'm not going to be political anymore. Good Place is a really good show about how complex the world is without it being at all political. Good Place is one of the start to finish best shows I've ever seen in my life. Absolutely beautiful. Just a beautiful story about beautiful, flawed, human, good, wonderful people. It's full of existentialism and philosophy and really complicated and fascinating thought. And it's man, that show is a rare beast, man. That was a unique, from start to finish, perfect show that provided a lot to people that wanted to get something out of it. Why are you not attaching? And it's hilarious, yeah. And it's a genuinely good show. That show made me realize, I already knew it, but that show cemented in my mind that Ted Danson might be the greatest natural resource we have in America. That guy has had an amazing, phenomenally long and rich and full career of tremendous television. Just never stops. Man on the Inside was good as well. I didn't finish it. I've only watched most of the first season. I know I got picked up for a second, but I need to get back to it. But I was really enjoying Man on the Inside. If you could own a single vehicle from this game IRL, oh, why is it the tree cutter? Dude, I would easily. I'm tempted to say the bulldozer so that I could enact the idea for the bulldozer business that I had with the boys where we could be a junk removal. But honestly, I think I'd probably take the stump grinder because I've hired a stump grinder a couple times at my old house, and you got to pay the guy like $300 to $500. He shows up, he drives this machine into your yard, he spends 20 minutes start to finish using it, and then he leaves, and he did half an hour's worth of work, and you paid him $400 for it, and the machine did 99% of the work. So I think I would take the stump grinder and I would just become a stump grinding business. I'd fucking love that. Dump and dumper, that's right. You hope the afterlife works like it does in the show? I know. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Claw crane, that'd be cool too. Okay. Only need 4 more of these bad boys. I'd like to be able to get them without having to stump grind anymore, but I have a feeling I need to get in here and do some grinding, or I'm going to run afoul of some stumps and make myself mad. This is going to be a satisfying mission to see completed. He's actually been talking about DVD, Dick Van Dyke. He's been discussed heavily in regulation this year already. So if there is a curse to be had, it's already been enacted. But I think that he's probably in the clear because in our Nostradamus draft, where we picked I guess it wasn't really a draft, but Are We Nostradamus, the video where we each made predictions for the year 2025, I predicted that Dick Van Dyke would make it to 100. So I think I've locked him in to surviving the year. Stump grinder is fun to say. How are Emily and I doing? Speaking of, Emily and I are great. Emily and I are great. Happier than ever. Nope. Okay. That should probably be good for now. Coast is clear, buddy. I think I did. Somebody did pick new pasta shape. If I find out, I don't know, 5 years from now, that Andrew was a ghost all along, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, new dog breed came true, I think, already. There's a guy on TikTok who's dedicated to making as many new pasta shapes as he can. That's that sounds like regulation content. Oh my god, it's almost 11. That late start really killed me today. All right. I got to edit Soul Right still, but I recorded it. So I just have to edit it. Andrew and I are filming something at 1 today. Should go by the office at some point to check on some stuff I got cooking. Not food, but I got working on. And then I guess I need to get a bike ride or something today to get some, man. I can tell that I'm going to have to start increasing the amount of physical activity I do to maintain my health as I get older. I can feel it. Definitely have to prioritize a bike ride or something today. Went back and listened to the Mango Street episode again, which might have been the first episode. Straight banger right out of the gate. Thanks. Yeah, that was the first episode that I did. When's the next Minecraft video coming out? Never! That was a one-off that we did. No plans to do anymore. Hell yeah. I hope you have a good time on it, Crimson. You get as much out of them as you put into them. They're awesome. If awesome's what you're looking for. Jeff, if you see this, I've been hoping to tell you this for in some form for a while. Without getting too personal open, you've been an inspiration for me to confront things about myself and a role model of sorts when there was such lacking in the past. Thank you so much for being you, Jeff. Keep on rocking, man. Malik, thank you so much for saying that. That's very kind of you, and I really appreciate it. And thank you for hanging out with us today, being a comment leaver, and for, I'm assuming, years of support. I really do appreciate it. So, incredibly kind words that you said, and I don't want you to think that they didn't land. They really do. I get a bit overwhelmed by how much Achievement Hunter seems to have meant to so many people. Sometimes it's a little hard for me to wrap my head around or to accept, but it means the world to me when I hear it. Apples. On Christmas Day, I found an e-bike jammed in my hedge from some homeless guy. I mean, I'd let the local law enforcement know, just see if anybody reported a stolen bike, because it'll have a serial number on it, you know? But outside of that, I'd say, yeah, probably. Oh, well, if you did, then you're probably good. Just keep in mind that you're going to be riding around your town one day and somebody's going to chase you down in a car and be like, where'd you get that fucking bike? And you're going to be like, what? All right, where's the next batch go? Oh, to back here. Huh. Well, we got to move the operation back there. Let's do it. I'd like to get these 10 trees cut before I quit today. Getting pretty long. I probably should log off here in a second. I guess I'll have to take a shower and stuff, but I want to complete these fucking these trees. That's very kind of you to say, Versified. Yeah, I don't have any experience with Costco e-bikes, unfortunately. My bikes are, I have 4 e-bikes now, and they are all Trek or Aventon, are the brands I use. Emily actually has a subsidiary of Trek called something else. It's on their, if you go to it's one of their brands, but it's like a little beach cruiser almost we have in Michigan. I like bikes that look like bikes, so I tend to go with Trek or the Aventon We just got Emily level 3, level up 3, something like that, and she's liking that a lot. A new dog, yeah. Andrew's definitely not going to eat the pencil. That was just a fan service one. I think I could win on the others, though. Was Leslie Cochran appreciated more from folks outside of Austin than folks who lived in Austin? I mean, he was definitely a tourist attraction unto himself. I will say that. But he was pretty beloved in town. You know, he obviously was homeless. At least I believe so. But he was. There were a lot of people that really loved him and took care of him and looked out for him. I know that he, some lady let him live in her mansion for like a year while it was being renovated, like fumigated or renovated or something. He, I don't know. He was like a celebrity around here, you know, even to the locals. He would come into the tattoo parlor. I used to get tattooed at a lot, and would just come in and shoot the shit with all the tattoo artists, and they all knew him very well, and like he was just a regular, you know. I had experiences with him where he was lovely and very eloquent and well spoken and seemed very cosmopolitan even. And then I had a few run-ins with him where he would show up at a bar and just stand next to me at the bar and demand I buy him a drink, and I would go like, I'm not gonna do that, you know. And then he would yell and scream or throw a fit, you know. Or I've seen him do that to other people too. He only did that to me once, but like he was a bit of both things, you know. No, he didn't know Gus's leg. He was a famous like a homeless guy in Austin, for lack of a better word, who would walk around half naked and would wear like a thong all the time, and just people would take photos with him, and then he just kind of he ran for mayor, got like 6% of the vote. He just became like an Austin celebrity, and everybody kind of loved him, myself included. There'll be another dog breed. I'm not worried about it. Would you? Thank you. Dick Van Dyke will live. The one I'm the least confident in, obviously Andrew's not going to eat the pencil, so that's off the board, but the one I'm least confident in is swing music coming back. I thought it was trending that way, and now I'm not so sure. I still think we have plenty of time for it to happen, but we'll see. I might be a year early on that prediction. Snip. All right. Oh, what are you doing? Why didn't you count? Why didn't you count? Is it because 1 fucking ounce of you is outside the thing? Don't you do that to me. There we go. Well, it's persnickety, huh? God, that was annoying. Cut me some fucking slack, buddy. Plenty of trees over here. See you later. Take care. Have a great day, Crimson. Yeah, it was terrible. Terrible, man. Amazing what flew back then. Be done in no time. I think we're at 60 63% when we started today. 65%. I'd be interested to see what. I imagine not. We won't go up a lot because it's really we've only done one mission today. Will there ever be a regulation Christmas album? There were 2 fuckface Christmas albums that the community made. I think those are publicly available if you want to Google them. So they already exist. The community made, the incredibly talented community, you guys made 2 entire Christmas albums for regulation. Or for fuckface, rather. Which is, you know, the same thing. You wish it was Thursday, Cosmic? It's closer to the weekend. Well, this is a difficult little patch of road here. Didn't expect that. Thursday's my Friday. Nice. I gotta go to the dentist tomorrow morning, which is like, I'm excited about it because I gotta, you know, I don't want to have this tooth pain, but I also just sick of doctor's offices. I've been to so many doctor's offices the last like 3 months dealing with this skin cancer and everything else, and then turning 50 and getting all my physicals, and I had a fucking CT scan on my heart this week already. Not for any reason other than just I'm 50 and they just want to check and make sure everything's looking good, but I don't have any issues or anything, but it's just like, it's like every time I turn around I can go into a fucking sitting in a waiting room. Oh, the Gundam Mobile Base event is taking place at Mark's local hobby store this weekend, so you're going to go to that, huh? What does that mean? What is the Gundam Mobile Base event? Oh, it's a card game, Gundam TCG. Good luck at the dentist, Big Fish. Congratulations on taking care of yourself, and I hope it's quick and painless. Like it won't be for me. It's a truck that travels around with a ton of model kits. That's cool. Who is it that used to be so into Gundam at RT? Was it Tyler Stab that was really into Gundam? Maybe? Can't remember. What's up, Kelvin? This haphazard pile of logs here. Bandai holds little events for the brand at various places around the world that has big sales. Ah, that's cool. Smart of them to do that. Booster boxes. They went in through his wrist for heart surgery. Jesus. What an insane time to be alive. And to think about it like this, right? Like, you look at 30 years ago, how different medicine was, even just 30 years ago, which is in my lifetime. I was an adult. I'm 50 now. I was 20 30 years ago. The advancements we've made in the last 30 years it makes me feel like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we were living in the dark ages. So it's crazy to think that 30 years from now, I'll still be alive. I'll be 80. I'll probably be in really good shape, actually, because of medical advancements. The amount of advancements we've had in 30 years, if we just had that same level over the next 30 years, it would be astounding. But it won't be that. It'll be that supercharged because of AI. And technology begets better technology in general. So we... it's going to be really cool. I wish I could have a little preview of it, obviously. But I just think it's going to be wild. The things we're able to cure and heal and manage and mitigate going forward. There you go. 30 years ago, my kiddo born at 23 weeks would have been an automatic palliative care baby. Exactly. I think Stab was in it too, not just those guys. I have a crate of Gundams in my storage. I haven't had time to get out. Sometimes, be excited for your health in the future. I guess, you know? Be excited that you're growing up now and not 50 years ago or 100 years ago, you know? None of these are fucking... Okay. These are all dead trees. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to live in a time when lobotomy is not a common practice. When I was 12, I was told I'd be lucky if I made it to 30. That's a great thing to tell a 12-year-old, by the way. At 30, I can expect to live to 80. Heart conditions. Within this stream time, I picked up my sister from an oral surgeon and got her a nice little water and accidentally dumped it on her. Happy Wednesday, Grun. 1870s. Hypothyroidism. Oof. That sounds frustrating and complicated to deal with. God, that's one of the problems with a lot of the houses I was looking at in Michigan is, you know, these houses are all 120, 150 years old, and so many of them have lead-based paint in them or asbestos. You just, you know, hasn't been taken care of yet. More so lead paint than asbestos, but... You got diagnosed with Marfans while you were watching Horse with the jackknife? Let me tell you, I talk about it in last week's So All Right, I guess. Or maybe it was this week's. This week's So All Right. I was like 99% sure I had the basal cell carcinoma, skin cancer, just from everything my doctor said. But I got the test results in, the official notification that, you know, it was cancer during the 5th inning of the Las Vegas Aviators game that we all went to as regulation. And I threw out the first pitch. It was on a Sunday, but for some reason my medical results posted on a Sunday. I got the alert in the 5th inning that I had results. And so I was like, oh, maybe I'm going to get like a really nice surprise in the middle of the game after throwing the pitch. And it'll be like, because why else would I get a medical results on a Sunday? You know, maybe the universe is trying to throw me some good news. It did not. Naturally occurring case of smallpox was 1977. Oh, we're done already. Wow. What's next that we need to do? Oh, we need to plan the, well, we'll do this. Of course we'll do this. And here's why. Here, well, let's get you out of the way first and foremost. Yeah, there's a guy with Marfons who is comment on the Howard Stern show. I learned a little bit about it through him. What am I going to? Wow, it's pretty lucky that we built all that, huh? Turns out we did need it. Hopefully we built it. Now the question is, did we add enough? Will they get stuck there? Probably not. Maybe. No, we're good through here, hopefully. Glad I did that little extra bit there. Be an issue there. Now, how do we get into this place most easily? There's already somebody taking that route. I could try to go around. Let's go around and see what happens. I think we'll be all right. Looks pretty solid. It's not that deep. Okay. See what happens. Permanent low heartbeat from it all. Wow. Is Expedition still worth it? I don't know. I imagine so. It never grabbed me when it first came out, and so I didn't stick with it much, but Antonio did, and he really liked it, and now I'm playing Roadcraft, and it hasn't really caught on with Bernie and Antonio yet, but I recognize how good it is, and now it's making me want to give Expeditions another shot, so maybe once I have played so much Roadcraft I need a break from it, I'll switch back over to Expeditions and play that in earnest. Because I hear it's just as good as this, just in different ways. SnowRunner is great. It's a little more stressful than this game. The stakes aren't as high in this game. If you dump over in SnowRunner and you lose your equipment, your gear, or your, I don't know, your logs or whatever, and you gotta like, you're in the middle of nowhere, you're far away from everybody. If you're playing by yourself, it's brutal, but you know, you gotta start a rescue mission, and it's just like, I love it. I love SnowRunner. I love that about it, but I find that this is even a little less stressful because Even if you tump over, your shit stays in your truck as long as you have it strapped, and it is a lot harder to dump over in this game. Crime scene cleaner. People have been recommending that to me a lot. Maybe I'll check it out at some point. Lost 4 trailers in the quarry. Come on. You got it. You got it. You got it. SnowRunner is Roadcraft on hard mode, essentially. Sweet. Prepared, right? You can never be too prepared. All right. I think that'll do it. I think that'll do it. We have, you know, they need to run a couple routes before I get the full reward, but I think this will be where we end it for the day. Let's see our ending progress after 2 hours. I'm really happy that we ended up needing all those roads I built, and they worked so well. 65%. I think we were at 63, maybe. Either way, great fucking day. Have a great rest of the day yourselves, you two, Drunken Mouse. Thank you for hanging out, and I love you all. Bye-bye.